Welcome back to Daytime. Healthy lunches and snacks are probably on a lot of parents' minds right now when they're sending those kids to school. Well, I hope so anyway, or at least our holistic nutritionist, Rita Mustafa, is probably hoping that all these lunches are packed properly.
That's right.
Now, when it comes to parents thinking, you know what, we need to make sure that our kids are getting the proper nutrition on a daily basis, but no one likes packing the lunches.
I know.
Is there any tips that we could be giving them?
Well, simple tips. You know, you want your kids to get a good start. So, you know, really simple tips. Start with water. Make sure your kids are well hydrated. You know, when they're in school, you want them to be focusing and being able to concentrate, and the brain is really dependent on a hydrated body.
Right.
So, lots of water. Start your kids off with breakfast. You know, make sure there's some breakfast in your kids. Start off with some protein, whether it's a smoothie or whether, you know, eggs or cereals, that type of thing.
And water is a very good point, because I think even when I was a child, that I never thought about water.
I know.
I got that juice box at lunchtime. We weren't allowed to drink in school, in the classroom. I wonder if that's kind of changed and evolved, because I'm obviously out of that right now.
Hard to say.
That's hard to say.
Yeah.
They should, though. They should be able to allow kids.
Yeah, they should be having little either bottles of water or, you know, refillable containers that, you know, moms can fill up in the morning, or kids can fill up at school.
But then I guess then the teachers might be dealing with a little bit more pee issues.
Well,
so I can see the balance in between
that's true. That's true.
Right, not so good.
Not so good.
Not so good.
But then again, if you give them sugar, then they're going to be sleeping in the classroom. So we'd rather probably have them just, you know, go to the washroom as opposed to sleeping on the counter.
Okay, so we're going to be talking a little bit more about the brain food that we should be having, our omegas, things like that, how we're able to get those in our diets, and maybe some tips for parents, the proper little things that we could be putting into their lunch. So we're going to be chatting with holistic nutritionist Rita a little bit later in the show, but now I'm going to throw it out who Melissa's stuck back outside talking with Boston Pizza.
I am joined by Rita Mustafa, who is a holistic nutritionist, and she's here to talk to us about healthy lunches and snacks, and back to school again with those kids. So before we came here, when Melanie was outside, you and I were talking about some of the items that we have on the table here. So let's start with some brain food. What are brain food? What is brain food?
So brain food, the brain actually requires something called DHA, and DHA is what is found in omega-3. So omega-3
omega-3s, here we go. So speaking of omega-3s, maybe talk a little bit about these items here.
So what you're holding up is the fish oil, and fish oil's great for kids. A lot of people think it's going to be too fishy for kids, but now a lot of the fish oils come flavored, so you can easily get fish oils into kids. This is liquid form, but of course if you can't get the liquid form into them, or you can't hide it in their smoothie, then you can always get like capsule versions where kids can actually chew it, and again the capsules are flavored also, so you can kind of mask that fishy taste.
How often are they taking this? Once a day?
They're taking it every day.
So I like your idea of maybe sneaking it in the morning in their smoothie or something like that before they're off to school,
That's right. Make a great smoothie, lots of fresh fruit.
And speaking of smoothies or anything else, but there's also these.
Right, so
walnuts.
Walnuts are really great omega-3 food, and omega-3s have DHA in them.
Absolutely.
And flaxseed.
Flaxseed. This is becoming more and more popular. You wouldn't have heard about this about 5-6 years ago.
Probably,
but now it's really out there. Why is flaxseed so important? Why is it such a brain power food?
It's one of those foods that's really high in omega-3s. And the great thing about flaxseed is it's so easy to hide into food, right? You can grind it up, you can throw it into things, into cereals, into oatmeals, you can throw it into your smoothies.
Sprinkle it on top of things, right?
Absolutely.
And what's the taste like for people who haven't had flaxseed? Do you notice a distinct taste?
Most people are not going to notice that it's there, especially when you grind it up.
Yeah, for sure it would. It's really interesting to see how nowadays you get all these omegas in all these different forms and everything, and how easy it is to actually encourage kids to eat healthy without them even really knowing it. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. We're going to go to a quick break. We'll come right back with more with Rita Mustafa, who is a holistic nutritionist, and we're going to talk a little bit about her book as well. So stay with us. You're watching Daytime on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Daytime. Rita here has me eating carrots. She has me having snacks, all these healthy things that I've don't necessarily eat on a daily basis, but I'm glad that you're here to teach me how. We're about to talk about healthy snacks for kids.
That's right.
And what we should be making. So you've mixed something up here in this little container.
Right.
So what is it?
So this here is what I call my goji berry balls. And goji berries are, it's a fruit. It's really high in antioxidants. And it's mixed in with a number of other things. So I've got almond butter in there, I've got dates in there, I've got the goji berries, and basically even some rice cereal. And I've just processed it in the food processor. And I thought we'd make little goji berry balls, a great after-school snack.
That you can make up ahead of time?
You make
can
it
you
ahead
freeze
of time.
them?
You can freeze them. You can leave them in the fridge. Absolutely, you can leave them out.
Fantastic. So you have these mitts
So I've
and
got
gloves
these
for
gloves
me.
for you.
I'm gonna slip her on. And what do I do?
So just grab like a scoop, and you're just gonna make it into a ball there.
I want to eat it. Are you good just like this? It is actually good just like this.
And then you can leave it like
Like
that.
that?
You can roll it into things like shredded coconut or shredded nuts.
These are actually really good.
Yeah, really simple. Only takes a few minutes to make.
Oh, I would put it there.
And then you can.
Sorry, I'll do the next one.
Let's try one more.
Okay. So I do see that you have something here, wheat-free, dairy-free recipes. So that's
right.
very important right now. A lot of people are gluten intolerant,
That's
etc.
right, yes. Yeah, so this is a cookbook I wrote about a year ago, and being a nutritionist for so long and dealing with people with so many food sensitivities, mainly wheat and dairy, I basically came out with the cookbook to help parents or even adults who have issues to kind of just be able to put simple things together with not a lot of effort.
Because the thing is, when it comes to healthy, this isn't even baking or cooking, just mixing. It's so easy. It's just getting used to it.
That's right.
Right? And that's what people have an issue, because this is fast, but we're just so used to the fast food.
Right. It's just looking for new ingredients now when you're out shopping.
Right. And so that's why it's good to maybe go to a holistic nutritionist to be able to get them to help you.
Right. I'll give
shop.
you guidelines. I'll give you shopping lists, and provide you with simple recipes like this that anybody can make.
Okay. So I'm going to mix it up for all the crew, because obviously they have been doing hard work, so they need some as well. But when it comes to just putting vitamins in our kids' food secretively, what is there any one ingredient that you can sort of sneak into everything, or not really one, but?
I like the green powders, right? So you can get green powders that are flavored also. So this would be a great place to hide some of the green powders, and you're going to get dried fruits, dried vegetables. You'll get flax seeds. You'll get wheatgrass and barley grass. So all these great nutrients, and they're hidden in something nice and sweet. So a lot of kids are not going to even know it's in there.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to stay over here with Rita and make all these delicious desserts and maybe eat a few. I'll try and save some for you by the end of the show, but I'm going to throw it over to Melissa, who's talking the Suicide Walk. Melissa? Another reason why healthy eating is so important for the stimulation of a healthy brain. Right, Rita?
Yes.
Exactly. So we're about to cook up a storm here in the kitchen. What are we going to be making here?
So I thought we'd make some rice paper wraps today. Again, another really simple, easy, treat that you can make for your kids, especially for after school, or you can even put them in their lunches.
They are very easy. I even make these.
That's right. So as long as you can find the ingredients are actually found in most grocery stores very easily. This is what the rice paper container looks like. Some of the other ingredients that we're going to use are things like the brown rice noodles.
So the brown rice noodles right up here. And all of this is really fast and easy to prepare.
Fast and easy. So that takes 3 minutes to cook, but everything else is pretty much just chopping up fresh vegetables and
go from there. So what should we be doing with these first?
Take take a couple of the sheets of rice paper.
That's it. They look like this.
And you're just going to soak them in water.
Okay.
So find a container.
So I can put both in?
You can put both in at the same time.
Awesome.
And while those are soaking, you can actually cut up some vegetables. I've cut up some carrots, avocado, peppers, cucumber.
I just want to show this. This is, for those of you at home who eat avocado, this is an amazing tool, right? And this is specifically made for avocado.
It helps to slice the avocado.
So you just put it in.
Put it in, and
this wasn't tested before, so.
and drag it through.
And drag it through. And then it comes in the little, already cut up. How cool is that?
That's right.
That's pretty awesome.
Really simple.
Okay,
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, so let's see, while those
So
are...
we've already cut up. So what's examples of some vegetables you'd be putting in here?
So I'm picking just things that I had on hand this morning before I left. So I had carrots, I had an avocado, I had a green and a red pepper, I have some cucumbers here. You can put things like sprouts in there, you can put green leafy lettuce, whatever you have on hand that you want to put in there. If you want to put protein, you can put maybe some chicken breast from the night before that was grilled, anything you like.
I like to put peanut butter and melt it and put it in. But that brings
butter,
some sugar back
interesting.
into it, doesn't it? Unless I did
You
natural
get
peanut
natural
butter.
peanut butter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't do that, but I will from now on.
And these are the brown rice noodles that I just cooked up.
And how do you cook them?
So boil some water, throw them in, 3 minutes,
Done.
drain them, you're done. That's it.
Perfect.
Really, really simple.
Okay.
So I think this one here is
Oh, pretty much done.
ready. And
So they come out all...
okay, so it comes out quite soft. You don't want it too soft that they're going to rip. And then basically you I'll
gonna
take
move
that away.
Yeah.
So basically you put that on your cutting board or working surface and you just start putting your favorite ingredients in, right? So we've got some cucumbers here. Or did you want to
Yeah, I do.
make your own here?
Yeah. Put that. Put some of these. Right?
Yeah,
Oops.
maybe some sprouts to make it look pretty.
And that's something you were touching on as well, making your food look pretty.
That's right.
So for our kids especially, because our kids only want to eat pretty things, right?
That's right.
And then I put some of these in. So what are some tips you can give us as far as...
So it's really about cutting food up, making it look attractive, right?
How's that?
Instead of just, that's beautiful.
Good.
So now I wrap
Wrap
it
it.
up. Yep, so bring the sides in.
Got this.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if this is how you do it. I do it this way. I don't know.
There you
Is
go.
this how you do it?
That works fine.
You're like, sure. That's fine.
It all looks good. And there you go. And then you just put it on your plate there.
Oh,
And you've got a great snack with all your
the color
favorite.
on top.
That's right. Lots of color. And then you can cut into it and then you have some nice looking wraps, right?
Yep,
that
perfect.
kids
And it's
will
all
love.
about tricking the kids and making them feel that it's possibly something
Fun and
exciting.
right, and not necessarily nutritious. We don't need it to tell them it's nutritious. Just make it look nice and fun.
Right.
Right. So I'm gonna grab that plate there
This?
if you don't mind.
It's like green smoothies and things like that. That's also, can I eat these? Like,
You can
I
have
need to get rid of
those.
them? I'll eat them. Okay, I'll put them
So
for later.
another neat trick is taking vegetables.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm going to take this hummus here. So hummus is great because it's protein because you have a lot of the chickpeas, which provide you protein.
Chickpea, neither a chick or a pea. Just
That's right.
seen that?
So here I've got some hummus, and I'm just
Delicious.
going to make it look fun. So this is going to be our sun, right? And then we can maybe take some cucumber, and I'm just going to do really thin slices here.
Oh,
And maybe this can be a little flour, right?
we're gonna continue making our garden here with Rita and come back with all of our wonderful shapes for you to take a look at. So don't go anywhere. Plenty more coming up on Daytime. Welcome back to Daytime. We're still here, as I promised, with holistic nutritionist Rita, and we're, as you can see, made a beautiful flower.
So cute.
The sun is shining, and we've got the green grass down here. Is that what that is?
Sure.
Sure.
Looks good.
Yeah, awesome. Sprouts are very, very high in nutrients, are they not,
That's
Rita?
right. More nutritious than the actual plant. So these are broccoli sprouts, so it's actually even more nutritious than having
I want to try one of those too.
real
I've never
broccoli.
tried a
Yeah.
broccoli sprout before.
Just eat them just like that.
That's right.
One thing I just wanted to touch on, especially nowadays, a lot of people are having food sensitivities.
Yes.
So how do we know that we're sensitive to the food? Because sometimes my throat gets itchy, but I can't relate it to any food. Is there
That's
something I should
right.
be doing?
So there's actually a difference between a food allergy and a food sensitivity.
Okay.
Right? So an allergy is sort of when you get that almost immediate reaction. You eat something, it's like, oh, that's not right, or you get, hives or swelling, that type of thing. A sensitivity is somebody can have a glass of milk today and not have symptoms for 2 days.
Wow.
Right? So that's why a sensitivity is so much harder to detect.
Right.
And when it comes to our kids, you know, especially now that we're back to school, and you know, if we're dealing with kids with even hyperactivity or ADD, a lot of times it's things like wheat and dairy, and that's in almost everything that they have, right? You have a sandwich, there's your wheat. You give them a glass of milk, there's your dairy. And so, you know, getting tested, or if they're too young and, you know, getting tested involves blood, so we need to take blood from the finger. So if they're too young and you don't think that's gonna work, then we would do what's called an elimination diet. So we actually take certain foods out of the diet for a period of time, like 30 days, and see how they react by eventually putting the individual foods back in.
Right.
And after a 30-day period, it's almost instant that you will notice either behavior change or digestive issues or, you know, ear, nose, throat type issues. That's usually wheat and dairy.
Right, because we were talking about chronic ear infections
That's
as well.
right, yeah.
And a lot of kids are getting chronic ear infections nowadays. Is there a certain cause?
Wheat and dairy.
It's all wheat and dairy.
It's typically dairy, but wheat in there sometimes. And typically when you take the dairy out, you put good probiotics in, like good bacteria in. A lot of times that will just clear up.
Interesting how you guys are saying that about the throat too, because I know I get a lot of scratchy throats like you were saying, and I never think it's my diet. I always think, oh, I'm getting strep, oh, I'm getting tonsillitis, but maybe it is something that I ate that it disagree. I have to start paying more attention to that.
And why it feels like it's all of a sudden. All of a sudden we're having all these allergies. We're having, you know, now no one can eat wheat. Now you can't eat this. You can't have this.
So true.
Why?
I think partly it's, you know, our food has changed over the years. There's a lot of genetically modifying of the foods. There's a lot of hybridizing of the food. So it's not exactly what it was 10 years ago.
Right.
So our bodies don't really recognize it as the same food. And so, you know, for some people they can get away with it. With others, they tend to have reactions, and it's going to be different for everyone, right? Could be itchy throat, could be digestive for someone else.
Exactly. So make sure you're getting all of your healthy diet, get all your vitamins, nutrients, all your
multivitamins, your greens, do your smoothies in the morning, throw your fish oils in, your
those
flax
omega-3s.
seeds. That's right.
Doesn't that sound appetizing for all of you at home? Well, thank you very much, holistic nutritionist Rita Mustafa, for coming out and showing us all of this delicious food and making all these wonderful balls. So we're going to step over here and keep eating these delicious balls that we have right here.
Looks great.